Okay, so now I want to talk to you about something that you've probably never heard before in the legal phrase. It's called eminent domain, eminent with an E, also known as condemnation. What am I really talking about? I'm talking about when a government or a government entity or a utility company comes in and says, hey, we're going to take your land. And you say, no, you're not. And they say, yes, we are. We have the legal authority to do it. So the question is, can governments, can governmental entities, utilities, can they take your land? And the short answer is yes, they can. It goes, if you want to study it, you can go read the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It's right in there. And I'm not here to debate philosophically about whether that's right or wrong today. What I am telling you is if this happens to you, you have an option. Because the Constitution also says that if a government takes your land, they have to pay what's called just compensation. And just compensation is not what you think it may mean. What we often see is, frankly, unsophisticated people, not that they've ever done anything wrong. They own land, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in with a Department of Transportation or an energy company, and they say, we want the best part of your land. And there's really no bargaining. They just say, we're going to take it, and here's the offer. And it's untold how many people have accepted that deal. And it's really tragic because what we see is when people do come to us before taking that deal, that the offer that has been made is completely unjust. It's really, really bad. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I'm not here to impugn anyone's motives, but there's a lot of injustice done here. So I'm going to try to set the record straight as to what your options may be if this happens to you. And to be clear, the government can take all of your property. They can take part of it. When they only take part of it, that can be just as devastating because then you're going to have damage that results to the rest of your property. What if Department of Transportation says we're going to put a road straight through your 100-acre farm? Well, what's that going to do to the rest of the farm? Who wants that land now? Or what if an energy company says we're going to put a substation right on the best corner lot? Who wants to build anything next to an electrical substation? Nobody. The good news is you can claim damage in those partial takings if you can show through expert proof, namely appraisers, what the damage is to the remainder of the property. So what do you do if you receive one of these offers and you don't know whether it's good or bad? Talk to an attorney. Our consultations are completely free. And every attorney I know that does this, the consultations are free. So you lose nothing in talking to an attorney. And here's the options. Here's what's going on. If you don't take the offer, nothing bad is going to happen to you, no matter how much pressure you get thrown at you. What they have to do, let's say it's a large government, a county, a DOT, whoever, if you reject the offer, they have to sue you. They literally have to file a lawsuit against you, and you are a defendant in your home county. At that point, to skip some of the legal technicalities that don't really matter right now, you get to ask for a jury trial. You get to ask for a jury to come in and decide how much that land is worth, including, in the partial taking scenario, how much damage has been done to the rest of your property. So what can the attorney do in that scenario? Well, number one, they can hire appraisers. And we have several people we work with here. They're really top-notch, they're very expensive, and they know exactly how to deal with these cases. And these cases are not like your ordinary personal injury case where the family and everybody comes in and you kind of testify as to what your own personal knowledge may be. These are purely expert-driven cases, and for that reason, they are more complicated than your ordinary case. It's not the kind of case that you would want to try to do by yourself. You're going to need an attorney to handle these cases. Now, here's the silver lining about just compensation. The law is to pay just compensation, they have to pay the highest and best use of the property. So that is the real remedy and sword for the landowner. And let me give you an example. Let's say you own a farm and all you've ever done is farm it. Let's say it's zoned as industrial, and which is probably higher than you think it's worth. Let's say you got 10 acres and industrial land goes for about $130,000 an acre. Well, if you're living in Boone County, like so many farmers are right now, and you're surrounded by a complete economic transformation of the county, you're going to be surrounded by commercial properties. So what will the attorney and the expert appraiser do? They will look and see what is the highest and best use of that 10-acre farm. And you may very well find that it is not industrial, that is not the best use or the best possible use. You can find that it could be commercial. Now, what does that mean? It means that commercial property can go well over $300,000 an acre. So you have just tripled the value of your property and you didn't even know it. So that is the real weapon for the landowner. Just compensation is not what you think it's worth now, it's what you think it could be worth in the best possible scenario. And again, that's why you really need to talk to an attorney in these cases. It can make an enormous difference.